In 1999, the World Wrestling Federation presented a special edition of Sunday Night Heat during the halftime of Super Bowl 33. This show featured an empty arena match between The Rock and Mankind for the WWF Championship. But you already know that. Everyone and their mother talks about the first ever halftime Heat. What people don't talk about as much is the fact that the Federation used the same brand the following year for a completely different show. I'm Alex Smiley with Occupy Pro Wrestling, and we're here to talk about the other halftime Heat of the Attitude Era. In the year 2000, Super Bowl 34 saw the St. Louis Rams face the Tennessee Titans, and during the halftime block of this game, the USA Network would once again air a special edition of Sunday Night Heat. But this time there were no special marquee matches, oh no. As a matter of fact, if you tune into that network expecting matches of any kind, you were probably disappointed. Unless you really wanted highlights from the Royal Rumble pay-per-view that aired the week before. Specifically, you got highlights from the Hardys-Dudleys tables match and the Miss Rumble 2000 swimsuit contest. Oh dear. The tables match is a lot of fun, especially when you consider that matches like this and the Triangle Ladder match at WrestleMania set the foundation for the first ever TLC match at SummerSlam of 2000. All of this helps cement the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian as the best of their time and possibly all time. The swimsuit contest, by contrast, is probably best or worst remembered for the fact that an incident involving Mae Young, you know the one, led to the Federation losing their deal with Channel 4 in the UK. Speaking of, it seems that they and other international markets got a very different episode of Heat that week. If you didn't live in the States, you were treated to a match between Big Boss Man and Prince Albert, the Acolytes taking on the Headbangers, and Kurt Angle wrestling Mideon. I couldn't possibly tell you who had the better show that week. Rumble highlights versus the lower mid-card of the Federation facing off. Those same international fans did get an audio update from Stone Cold Steve Austin after his recent neck surgery, but the US got a sit-down with the Rattlesnake and good old JR, with bits of said interview airing on Raw and SmackDown later that week. After presenting the Federation's commercial for the big game that was rejected by ABC, audiences in the States got to see Austin and Jim Ross chatting it up about the surgery, with Austin complaining that his neck brace made it harder to drink beer. Conversation turns to Austin looking to come back despite the gravity of his situation, and the Rattlesnake says that there is nothing like being in front of a major audience, whether it's in the arena or watching around the world. Ross then asked Stone Cold if he thought about quitting after being put on the shelf last November. This is met with Austin refusing to be afraid of every possible situation, focused on handling the recovery from surgery. When asked about the rise of The Rock and Triple H during his absence, Austin gives respect to both men, even as he looks to get in the mix with them as soon as he's fully healed. Austin then promises that there's nothing less than 100% regarding his return to the Federation, and the topic of his engagement to Deborah is briefly brought up. With that, the 2000 edition of Halftime Heat came to a close, and so too did the Federation specifically targeting NFL fans during the Super Bowl. Footage of this show is hard to come by, though you can find pieces of it across the internet. Aside from the highlights of the 2000 Royal Rumble pay-per-view, which, you know, you can find however you get your WWE content these days, searching YouTube for a WWF Super Bowl ad may yield a positive result, but I do want to give a special shout out to WrestleMetal90 on Instagram for posting clips of this program, including the Stone Cold interview in full. You're a real one. And with that, we close the book on the Halftime Heat brand, never to return to it. Never. Did you see the 2000 edition of Halftime Heat? What were your thoughts on the Stone Cold interview? Let us know in the comments. I appreciate you giving this video a watch as well as a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to this channel for even more content, including other dips into the less pronounced bits of wrestling history. You can also check out our website at occupyprowrestling.com and follow us on socials at Power to the Smarts. Until next time, I'm Alex Smiley, and I guess this is where I play myself out.